Southland Conference football on ESPN. The two preseason favorites to win the Southland face-off at Gale and Tom Benson Stadium in San Antonio. It's the 20th ranked University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals hosting the Lumberjacks from Stephen F. Austin. Hello everyone, along with Sam Kamen and the rest of the ESPN crew, I'm Carl Schoening. We're happy you joined us on ESPN+. Sam, we start by highlighting the reigning Southland Conference Players of the Week on both sides of the ball playing today.
Yeah, let's start on the defensive end with Declan Williams, Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week, and he had a terrific game, including this 28-yard pick six to highlight it off. He led the team with 8 tackles, had 2 tackles for loss. He leads the team in tackles, 3rd in the conference in tackles for loss, and he just absolutely wreaked havoc against an Abilene Christian team that went down, scored immediately. They held him scoreless the rest of the game, a big 38-7 victory, just what the doctor ordered.
And on the Lumberjacks side, back-to-back Offensive Player of the Week for Jarrell Wimbley, as he's going to be in the backfield for SFA.
Yeah, Wimbley had Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week the week prior. Why not do it again? Over 200 yards all-purpose, 171 on the ground on 29 carries. He went over 2,000 yards for his career, the 11th Lumberjack to do that. He's looking to have another career day like he had against the McNeese Cowboys.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's October, but it still feels like summer in San Antonio. 90 degrees at kickoff here in Central Texas.
Nothing like it being fall, but still feeling like summer. Hopefully, we'll get some cooler temperatures, but again, late kick, we'll get under the lights, and it'll be just perfect here as UIW in their blackout uniforms per usual.
SFA deferred, so they'll send it away. Jaden James back deep to receive the kickoff with Harlan Dixon. SFA will have Jacob Hand send this one away. Toe to leather and a spiraling kick that will not be returnable. 25-yard line is where UIW's offense starts. E.J. Colson and the Cardinals trying to get an impact win in Southland Conference today.
Yeah, E.J. Colson getting the 3rd straight start for Coach Killo, and last week 122 passing yards, a touchdown, also 19 carries, 103 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 3rd quarterback for UIW to throw and rush for 100+ yards in the same game. He's been very efficient when throwing the ball and trying to spark the offense early.
First play from scrimmage for Colson. He has protection, completes it across the middle, and that'll be Logan Compton picking up a few yards as he was the check down option.
He had 2 catches for 20 yards last week, and there's lots of different options Colson can go to, and not many times you see the tight end get into the action, but good for Logan Compton.
Another completed pass. This time Jalen Waltall loses it. That might have been a football move. It was picked up and a fumble recovered by SFA. Picking up his big Elijah Fields, the defensive tackle, with an early turnover.
Just a quick slant there. Good throw from Colson. And gonna have to slow-mo that one. Waltall's forearm might have been down, but a great tackle and a big turnover for Stephen F. Austin, one of the best in the country when it comes to turnover margin.
That's their 7th fumble recovery. Now 12 turnovers gained by that Lumberjack defense. The review is taking a moment, but both teams seem to be ready to have Stephen F. Austin with the ball. Let's see what we can view here while we're having the officials look over it.
All turnovers are reviewed. See, ball is, well, that's pretty tight. I do think his forearm was down right as it got ripped out.
So Craig Helser there says that it's completely under review now, so both teams led back to their sideline. You were spot on, though. We're going to have to take this frame by frame to see if Walt had a forearm down before that ball was ripped out, but I think there's no question about the football move he made.
Correct, and I think if it's going to be, he's either down for a completed catch, or it's going to be a forced fumble for Aaron Sears, the junior from Tyler, Texas, who did a good job of getting his hand on the nose of the football where Walt has control and then ripping it out as he's going to the ground.
While the officials take their time in what is pretty critical early in the game for their jobs. You know, it seems like he's down the more we look at it. That's a good eye by you, Sam, but it's the ruling on the field that needs to be overturned, which is that it was a fumble recovered by SFA. And to that extent, that's something that officials across all levels of football have been allowing the play to happen because they know they can review turnovers and what have you.
Well, and you see it all the time of a quarterback gets hit and, hey, do we want to call it an incomplete pass, or do we want to say it's a potential fumble and then let it play out? You can always go recheck with your entire crew. There's 6, 7 guys. Hey, do you have incomplete pass? Yes. Okay. Just re-add the time. There's no harm in foul versus you don't want to have it be a fumble and you're taking 6 points off the board for the defense.
You and I were in North Dakota in the FCS semifinal when UIW had what should have been called a fumble recovered by Incarnate Word overturned because the reviewers didn't take their time. So right now, we appreciate the review giving us at least one more look here as the motion blurs on there and now focuses up. Left arm down before the football comes out.
Right there. He still has control. That's when the ball's loose. And so that, I'm expecting this to be UIW football.
We need to hedge our bets up here.
Well, I'm over.
Looks like the call on the field will be upheld. And Sam Vidlac and the Lumberjack offense comes out off the momentum of a turnover forced by their defense. Once again, it was the defensive tackle Elijah Fields that gives this great opportunity. Field position starting at the 38 for the Lumberjacks. Vidlac will send Harris in motion. Hand it off Wimbley, who wants to stretch around left side. He can't turn the corner for more than a yard as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job in pursuit by UIW, making sure there's not any rushing lane there, and just like UIW, SFA likes to go fast too.
Wimbley will get it again, finds a gap this time to the left side, picks up 9 and stumbles forward for another yard as he gets out of bounds as well. They stop it at 14:03. They'll keep the clock turning though.
Yeah, good patient run there from Wimbley, letting his blocks develop, sees the hole, bursts through, first down for the Lumberjacks.
Play action. This time a pass out to the left side. It is caught. Tackle made by Chris Pierce as Clayton Wayward comes in with his 13th catch of the season.
And Vidlac, one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, was right behind UIW's Zach Calzada last year in many of the passing categories. Hasn't gotten off to his best start, but coming off a really good game, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions against McNeese.
Second and 4 in the red zone. Lumberjacks play action. Vidlac had time to throw. Gets it over to the left side. It is hauled in and a touchdown for the Lumberjacks. Pulled in by Kylan Harris. Harris gets his 4th touchdown of the season, and SFA capitalizes off of the Cardinals' turnover.
He's an All-American for a reason. A great contested catch. Somehow, some way, was able to pull that down, being draped by Kendrick Stone. And UIW thought Kendrick Stone did a good job of making sure once he caught it, he wasn't able to get a foot down. And this might go to a review as well.
Yeah, Carlos Alvarado is going to have to wait for this point after attempt. All scoring plays are reviewed, much like the turnovers. So this will be a quick one, I imagine. It looked pretty good in real time. You're shaking your head. You have a little bit of doubt.
I don't know if he actually got a foot down. It looked like he landed on the line. We'll take a look. Here's a great angle. It's definitely a catch, but when does his foot come down? Nope, that left foot looks good. Obviously have to complete the process of a catch too, and everything squared away.
Alvarado has been given his okay to go. 20 for 20 on point after attempts so far this season. He'll get the hold from Tug Sanford and send it through the uprights and good. He's 21 for 21 now on point after attempts, and Stephen F. Austin takes a 7-0 lead. We'll step aside and UIW try to answer when we come back. Seven 0 SFA leads UIW, and that's thanks to a 20-yard pass reception from Kylan Harris sent to him by Sam Vidlak. Taking advantage of a fumble on UIW's first offensive drive. Cardinals about to get it back as Jacob Hand sends it away, and once again unreturnable. Touchback and 25-yard line is where UIW will try to answer.
Yeah, here are a couple of keys for UIW in this matchup, and so far it has not gone their way. One of their big keys was protecting the football. SFA's defense, one of the best in the country in turnover margin of +4, second in the conference, 17th best in the country. The other one is defensively, they got to create chaos. They got to get pressure against Sam Vidlak. They only have 2 sacks all season, and you're going to see if Sam Vidlak has time to throw, he's going to make the UIW defense pay.
Quick screen out to the right side. Jalen Waltall was able to get a step forward before being brought down by Jalen Mayo on a quick tackle.
And he, coming off a couple missed games due to an injury, starting to get back into his rhythm. 5 catches, a touchdown last week against the Wildcats. They've already targeted him twice in the early going, a good sign.
Spears has to dance in the backfield through a lot of pressure. He's not going to go anywhere. Getting the majority of that tackle is Cameron Reddick.
Yeah, the point of attack was won by Xavier Potts. He didn't make the tackle, but gave his front 7 plenty of time to get going. Also in there was number 33, but really swarming at the front line, and that's a key for SFA, is winning the trenches, and a big tackle for loss puts 3rd and long for UIW.
First in the South and 4th in the nation are SFA in tackles for loss. They put the Cardinals behind the chains. 3rd and 12 from the 23. Flag on this play. Hit as he throws. Colson tried to find Jameson Garcia on the left side of the field. We'll see what this is about, as UIW could use some good news. Once again, Craig Helser.
Offside, 49 defense. 5 yard penalty for free spot.
So UIW did get a free play off the offsides. E.J. Colson takes a hit trying to send it out to Jameson Garcia, but another chance at 3rd down.
Yeah, good recognition, good IQ from E.J. Colson, knowing he's got a free play. Let's go try and get a 1st down, if not more. But still 3rd and long. Got to give Colson some time to survey the field and attack with his arm.
Colson immediately under pressure, tries to tuck and run. He's not going to go anywhere. Kai Thomas comes in with the sack and forces 4th down.
4th-year player for Stephen F. Austin, and Kai Thomas, a huge impact player for their defense, coming off a game where he had a sack and a half. And I mean, when you have the bull rush like SFA just put on there, not enough blockers for all the attackers, and it's going to be an easy sack for Kai Thomas.
3 and out for the Cardinals. Bugs Mortimer is back deep to receive this Ryan Schamberger punt. Schamberger gets a lot of this one, forces Mortimer to backpedal to the 25 where he takes it. Stretching to the other side of the field as he runs along that 25. Sutter steps to the 35, gets past a couple Cardinals and steps out of bounds just shy of the 50. Mark him at the 47. Great return there for Bugs Mortimer. And now UIW's defense called on to get a stop.
Really good. A lot of east and west really waiting for a block, and a good job of not having a blind side block there. Running, hands up, just maybe clip him in the shoulder, just kind of running a screen basically. Opens Mortimer for a big gain on that punt return.
1st and 10. Great starting position for SFA. Not going to do anything where a tackle for loss as Wembley was hit in the backfield. Dune Smith with the tackle for loss, pushing him back a couple yards to the 45.
And the Lumberjacks are having a lot of slow developing runs with their zone scheme. Was able to find some success once on that first drive, but 2 of the 3 runs have ended up in negative plays.
Dewey Green, the injured Cardinal, will have us pause on the field at a moment. It is the pink out game. See if we can catch what happens here as Dune Smith gets the tackle for loss, and then you see Green come in there and get his elbow twisted at the end of the tackle.
Might just be a little bit of a stinger for him.
Seems to be okay as he bounces up. Both teams getting a injury timeout to discuss things, but Dewey Green, 4 tackles and 2 for loss on the season. Somebody who's manning the front 7 for UIW.
Talked about UIW's keys for the game. SFA's very much the same, but it's more winning the trenches, is that front 7 as well as their offensive line, winning the point of attack. Their rushing attack starting to get going against McNeese last couple games.
Another Wembley handoff. He's able to sneak through the trenches and take a couple hits at the Cardinal logo at midfield before he's brought down, and makes this a 3rd and a bit more manageable.
Yeah, leads the conference in rushing yards, yards per carry, 4th in touchdowns, and made it 3rd and manageable, where coach might have to think about this being 4-down territory.
Vidlak will throw. Able to escape some pressure. Hit as he throws and misses his intended target across the middle of the field. Derek Bowler couldn't quite pull it in. Beg your pardon, that's actually Kylan Harris he was trying to get to again.
Doing a good job of maneuvering himself inside the pocket, trying to find an open receiver, buying some time, and almost put it in harm's way. But that's a coverage sack for Incarnate Word. Doesn't result in a sack, but a good defensive play and a good stand there on this 2nd drive.
Tyler Morton back deep to receive the Laki Pazaban punt here as he sends this one high and a bit short. Fair catch called for by Morton, as that'll be caught inside the 15, and the Cardinals will have a chance to tie it up when we come back. 9:45 remaining in the opening quarter. SFA leads at 7-0. 7-0 SFA as UIW's trying to answer back. It'll be E.J. Colson in the shotgun. 3-and-out last possession. First possession was a fumble recovered by the Lumberjacks. This time around, E.J. Colson with a jump pass caught by Chadon James, and James will be shoved into the SFA sideline after picking up the 1st down.
SFA is loving to send pressure early in this game. You could see that little jump pass for E.J. Colson, doing a good job of getting it to James where he can work out in space.
Jalen Waltall couldn't quite hold on to that pass as he's going to be smothered all day by Jalen Mayo, forces the incompletion.
Yeah, Jalen Mayo, redshirt junior, having 1 pass breakup last week against the Cowboys, 3 on the season. He draws the tough assignment against Jalen Waltall, and he's proven to hang right there with him in this early going.
Lontrell Turner's in the backfield with Colson. And Turner will get the give. Avoids a couple tacklers, but doesn't get far as he might have gotten to the 29 and gained 1. Sets up a passing down 3rd down.
And again, We're looking at the trenches and the Lumberjacks winning the point of attack when Lontrell Turner's having to make a move on a defender in the backfield. It's not a good sign. Defensive coordinator Mike Mutz for SFA dialing up a lot of pressure. Look for it right here once again.
Colson is under pressure. He'll lob this one. Josh Lork trying to stretch to the other side of the field. Lost the football. It's another fumble that'll be recovered by SFA. It's bouncing around. It might have slipped out, and eventually it does look like it'll be James who chops on top of it. Jaden James saves the day, and I feel like UIW should just continue with their luck since this is 4th and about half a yard.
Oh, this is a long developing wide receiver screen, and he has it and just loses it in his left hand, and it was out there for a while, and then somehow James gets on top of it.
Colson calls his own number, and I don't think he's going to get there. It'll be a turnover on downs as UIW went for it on 4th and 1 with a quarterback run, and Colson hit in the backfield.
Coach Killo thought that it's a bad spot, but I don't think he ever got to the line.
Once again, Elijah Fields with his fingerprints in this game gets the tackle on E.J. Colson, and slightly better field positioning than when Fields got the fumble recovery. Ball at the Cardinals' 37-yard line to start this drive for the Lumberjacks.
And the Cardinals are going to need another big-time stop that they had on the last drive, because even their last drive started near midfield, and we might get a challenge from Coach Killo about the spot.
Seems like they want to review if forward progress did get to the line to gain. From our angle, I didn't see it, but Clint Killo's right there at the marker, so he might have had a better angle than anyone here in the press box. Does he have a better angle than anyone? UIW, if nothing else, calls the timeout.
You can see his reaction right there.
And Clint Killo in his 3rd season with UIW.
Like great wide receiver back in his playing days. Worked his way all the way up in the coaching ranks.
So it looks like it is a challenge brought on by UIW, as they will see if E.J. Colson did somehow get basically a step past the line of scrimmage is all he really needed. But once again, Elijah Fields had a pretty impactful tackle.
He needed the 38. He's there at the 36, gets spun to the 37, and then he stretches his arm late, kind of to the 38. I see this one standing, but again, I'm 0 for 1.
Cardinals could use you to continue to be wrong.
Well, I was in favor of a reversal for the Cardinals last time, and it didn't go our way, or my way. I wanted to see the touchdown one more time, and then I was like, oh yes, that's a good call.
We're probably batting around 400 on our reviews. No, we tend to get it right a good chunk of the time. But like I said, we should probably hedge our bets. But in this particular case, I think you and I both agree it'll be hard to overturn the spot that they have on the ball.
I mean, if I'm hitting 400 baseball terms,
that's pretty good.
Better than a Hall of Famer. But if you're looking at reviews, that's probably not the best percentage I want to have.
No. Sometimes I wonder if they're listening to us broadcasters just to spite us. Seems like a decision has been made, as Craig Helser will issue his judgment here in a moment.
After review, roll the field. This is under a short line again. First down, SFA.
Didn't say whether it was confirmed, upheld, etc. That give us a little insight as to what they actually saw on the film, but it'll be a turnover on downs and Stephen F. Austin football at the Cardinals 37 regardless. 8:06 remaining in the opening quarter, and UIW's defense has been asked to do a lot so far in the opening half. First and 10 for Vidlac. Play action. Airs it out down the left sideline, and target is hit as he finds his receiver. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. That's Kylan Harris with the touchdown.
Yeah, number 11.
Oh, beg your pardon, number 11, Derek Bowler with the touchdown.
They will go zero blitz, man on man. And Derek Bowler, second touchdown of the season. Big turnovers that turn into big plays for Stephen F. Austin. That was the name of the game last week against the Cowboys, and they do it once again here in this first quarter versus UIW.
Striking hot there, 37-yard on the first play from scrimmage touchdown, and point after is sent through by Carlos Alvarado, and we'll have a timeout on the field. SFA jumping out to a 14-0 lead. 7:59 remaining in the first quarter. Jacob Hand will kick it off after SFA strikes once again. This time, Derek Bowler getting the touchdown pass from Sam Vidlac. His second touchdown pass of the game, 9th of the season.
Off to a stellar start, 3 for 4, 63 yards, 2 big strikes for touchdowns, and showing why he was one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the conference a year ago, but in the entire country.
And once again, no return opportunity for UIW as Jacob Hand sends this away. We'll go ahead and check out Colby Carthel here, the head coach at SFA.
Yeah, 7th year at the helm in Nacogdoches, and he's a Texas guy through and through, hometown from Feronia. He went to Angelo State, West Texas A&M, Texas A&M Commerce, where he won a national championship with now the East Texas A&M Lions, and he's turning SFA into quite the power.
Montrell Turner cuts back up middle of the field and picks up a couple yards after having to be redirected by the pressure of the defense.
They just can't get anything going. They're going to try to go to their tempo to strike some explosiveness against this SFA defense.
Colson hit in the pocket, and he'll be brought down as Kai Thomas comes up with another sack, his second of the ball game.
Coverage sack there from the back end of the Lumberjacks, trying to survey, get through his progressions, and then he is met right in the face of Kai Thomas, coming to his senses the last 2 weeks. A second sack for him today.
Colson is in Lorick in motion. Play action. Colson's going to have to escape to the right. Fires a dart to Lontrell Turner as he was on the move and picks up the first down.
Great awareness, getting right to the sticks, keeping his eyes on the field, up the field, finds his running back that leaked out, and a huge third down conversion.
Just overthrows Josh Lorick this time. Colson will have the clock stop at 6:51 on him.
And that's the thing about this offense. Once they can get one explosive play, one first down, usually it can jumpstart this offense. And right now, this is an SFA defense that's one of the best in just about every defensive category in the conference, but also the entire country.
Colson and the Cardinals certainly have their work cut out for them. It's a handoff, and Montrell Turner only gets a step forward, and another third and long facing UIW.
When you look at where they are in the rushing category, giving up less than 90 yards per game, less than 18 points per game. That's first and second best in the conference respectively. Also 9th in the conference, or 9th in the country, and 12th in the country respectively. So this is going to be a tall task for this UIW offense.
Colson quickly releases and just overthrows Jalen Waltall, but there is a flag on the play.
I think this one's going to go Incarnate Word's way.
Early indications do seem that it was a hold as Jalen Waltall was trying to break free down the sideline. Davion Hargrove is the guilty party. A free first down for UIW as they get into Lumberjack territory for the first time tonight.
Holding, pass interfering, just had a couple more yards, but he got beat off the inside release of Waltall and didn't want it to be a touchdown for number 6. Instead, he'll just take the penalty for a free first down.
Colson will fake the handoff to Waltall and spin forward across the 45 to get a solid gain with his feet.
And that's what you're going to see a lot more of with E.J. Colson in the backfield. A lot of misdirections, some designed quarterback runs. That's a read option with him and Waltall calling his own number again. That's a added element to this offense now with using his legs.
Colson will check down to Spears on the right side. Jaylon Spears breaks free for a first down and gets inside the 20 before he's dragged out of bounds. They'll actually mark him stepping out of bounds at the 31, but that'll get Spears going.
And that's the guy that they got to use a little bit more. Southland Conference Player of the Year when he was at Nicholls. Can do it as a receiver, can do it as a runner. Last week, saw the end zone for the first time this season. 13 carries for 63 yards, but they've got to get him in space a lot more. And they did that last week against Abilene Christian, averaging 4.8 yards per carry.
Play clock is down to 5. Colson aware of it. Will have a play action over to the left side. Jaden James gets across the 30, and then it's finished off with a shove by Mayo.
A lot of quick screens for Incarnate Word here in this first quarter, trying to alleviate the amount of pressure that Mike Mutz and SFA continue to dial up. They're also rotating bodies in the front 7 when they can. Whenever UIW stubs, they're going to take their time and sub, seeing Kai Thomas come back into the play. Now play clock's at 5 seconds.
And I think that that's the issue that we have here, because it was quickly reset to 20 seconds. Might have been an overcorrection as the subs were allowed to take a little bit longer, and now the officials are going to discuss the probably not a delay of game.
There's no foul. The play clock is reset incorrectly. It was not penalized offense. No foul on the play.
So as I suggested and just confirmed, incorrection on the play clock being reset. No infraction, 2nd and 8. UIW has it at the SFA 29.
Head coach Kobe Carthel wanted the delay of game penalty thrown.
Waltall exits out of the backfield. Colson decides to go up the middle of the pocket, collapsing, and will spin his way forward into the red zone. Drop down to the 19 when he eventually stopped his momentum.
That was the key for Stephen F. Austin, was once they get into the backfield, they have to finish with the tackle, letting E.J. Colson break through and move the chains once again for UIW.
Montrell Turner picks up a couple of yards before he hits a lot of white jerseys up the middle.
It's those busted plays where E.J. Colson can do a lot of damage. Can do it as a runner, can do it extending the play as a passer. And so far, the Lumberjacks have done a good job of containing him and not letting the explosive plays happen, but still have a lot of ball game left.
Cardinals using some play clock. 5 on the clock here as it's snapped to Colson. He'll keep it, and he's not going to be able to get much further than back to the line of scrimmage. And another third down here for the Cardinals to face.
And that might have been just a misread there for Colson. Probably should have given that ball up, because he ended up going right where Lontrell Turner was headed.
Yeah, they had a friendly collision.
But inside the red zone, they were 5 for 5 last week. Got to come up with touchdowns here.
Turner exits out of the backfield. Empty set for Colson. Colson has to get rid of it quickly. He completes it out to the left side and not able to break free from the ankle tackle, and stops short is Lontrell Turner, as he was nowhere really near the yard to gain, and field goal unit will come out for UIW.
A great open field tackle there from number 15, Raiden Campbell, making sure Lontrell Turner doesn't break that tackle to get to the first down. Raiden Campbell, UIW transfer from a few years ago.
Will Ferris is 3 for 3 in this range, a 36-yard field goal, as he sends this one end over end through the uprights, and good. UIW on the board. 14-3 the new score, as a minute 30 remaining in the opening quarter. UIW will take the points on the 4th and long they face in the red zone. Talk about things that SFA is good at. Red zone defense is one of them. They have held their opponents to 67% on conversion rating. So UIW certainly affecting that number just for the moment.
And it counts as 1 for 1 for UIW with the field goal, but definitely feel like a missed opportunity as that one stalled out towards the end of that drive.
So the ensuing kickoff here, Wembley will be back deep to receive, along with Richard Reese. Ethan Brumgard will send this one away, as I thought he was kicking barefoot for a moment, but he has some really thin and pink shoes. Still booms it, and it will not be returned, as Reese allows that one to hit the end zone. And 25-yard line is, if I'm not mistaken, SFA's worst starting field position of the day, and they're trying to build on a 14-3 lead.
And it's been Sam Vidlac that has shown his arm just a few times, but it's turned into scoring plays. 3 for 4, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wembley's been their workhorse the last few weeks. 4 carries, 16 yards in the early going. We'll see if they can sustain a long drive. Like you said, this is their worst starting field position of this first quarter.
Timeout on the field. SFA seems to have some personnel issues, as it looks like Richard Reese was about to have his first snap in the backfield as a running back. First timeout used by SFA.
And not a good sign for the Lumberjacks when you have to spend a timeout for almost having a delay of game to start the drive. Want to be on the same page from the get-go, and can't have costly penalties. And luckily this is the first quarter, first half, where those timeouts aren't as important come the late instances of the game, but every timeout so valuable, because you never know when you're going to need them towards the end of the half.
Vidlac quickly to Richard Reese, and Reese stiff arms the defender as he picks up a couple yards, stepping out of bounds. Get him to the 29.
Well, misdirection there on the play action. Get Vidlac going once again. Easy completions to boost his confidence.
Most importantly, keeps the Lumberjacks on schedule. Play action. Quick sidearm throw over to the right side, caught by Isaiah Davis, and he fights to the yard to gain. They move the chains.
A little bit of a homecoming for him as he transferred to SFA from UTSA. Nice spin move to break out of the first tackle, get some extra yards after the catch to move those chains.
First and 10 from the 35. SFA still on their own side of the field. Vidlak, quick throw out to the right side, stumbling after making the catch, bugs Mortimer, and if it weren't for him losing the balance, he probably would have picked up more than that 4 yards.
It was a good job of leading him upfield from Vidlak, but maybe a little bit too much for Mortimer. But again, staying on schedule, and just like SFA was doing on defense when UIW subbed, Cardinals are going to take their time.
Might be a free play here as just before the game clock ends. A throw down the right side. Mortimer is not going to be anywhere near it, but should be 5 yards for SFA with 2 seconds left in the first quarter.
Offside, 14 defense. 5 yards left in the previous spot. Repeat. Second down.
So many times we see that hard count just to see if somebody will jump. This time the Cardinals do at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, everything in this modern age of college football, the cadence goes on the clap. You got a few Cardinals that jump at the clap and turns into a free 5 yards.
Play action. Vidlak will be taken down for the first time as he tried to extend the play with his legs. Not going to go anywhere as the UIW defense led by Michael Please Jr. gets the tackle. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. We'll step aside. SFA with a 14-3 lead and a third and medium when we come back on this drive. Start of the second quarter here at Benson Stadium. SFA's defense has been as advertised, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first quarter stats, UIW's had 23 plays of total offense, or 23 plays on offense, 73 yards. You look at the rushing category, 11 carries for just 7 yards. That's 0.6 yards per carry, stifling the Cardinals through the first 15 minutes.
Play clock down 8 as Jenkins moves over to the left side. Vidlak under pressure immediately gets it off to Jenkins. Dune Smith will drag him down after picking up the first down, and a face mask will probably be this flag. The face mask going on Dune Smith, I should clarify. So add on 15 to the end of the run. That would have been a first down. Once we get it officially from Craig Helser.
First and 5. Face mask. Number 2, defense. 15 yard penalty in play. Automatic. First down.
And it was a really good play, too, by Sam Vidlak, immediately seeing who his hot route was. And, yeah, that's textbook face mask there from Dune Smith. But a great job by Vidlak to sidearm throw it to Jalen Jenkins, top returning running back from a year ago for the Lumberjacks. And just like that, right back into scoring territory.
Jenkins gets the give this time, trying to go around left end, brought up from behind by Declan Williams. Still a solid gain here on first down to pick up about 3.
Yeah, for the season, he only has 7 carries for 24 yards, but a year ago, 96 carries, 3 touchdowns, 554 yards.
Monroe picks up the first down as he gets it on a quick pass into the flat, and SFA taking advantage of the penalty and their offensive momentum, really trying to make this a one-sided first half as they march down the field.
And these are 2 very similar styles of play for both SFA and UIW that mirror each other a lot.
Vidlak almost has it intercepted by Kendrick Stone as he was trying to get it to one of the touchdown scorers, Derek Bowler.
And Stone's going to want that one back. He undercuts this route perfectly from his safety position. And it's lucky that Sam Vidlak doesn't have an interception tonight right there. Just an incompletion trying to squeeze the ball into Derek Bowler.
Another handoff to Jenkins. He gets ankle tackled from behind. First hit being made by Josh Gonzalez, cleaned up on the play by Joe Cadet.
And both defensive coordinators liking to sim pressure. You're seeing Jim Gush send 6 or 7 there, making sure Jenkins can't get loose. And now it's 3rd and long with the Cardinal defense needing to force a field goal attempt.
Change of the play coming from the sidelines. Vidlock has the play clock down to 10. Play action. Swings it over to the left side. It is caught for first down, and the first catch of the day, or second catch of the day, by Clayton Wayland.
Yeah, Jim Gush just deciding to rush 3, play zone coverage, and Sam Vidlac ripping one through the zone. First down once again.
Jenkins goes up the gut and will get a few yards further on 1st and goal to about the 8. And we have an injury on the field for SFA. Something that stopped their positive momentum as they were really marching down the field. Hopefully the young man's okay. Can't quite make out who it is. But we do talk about the SFA defense being dominant. The SFA offense has certainly taken advantage of every opportunity that defense has given them, starting off with the Elijah Fields fumble recovery on the UIW first drive of the game that resulted in the first touchdown score for SFA.
Yeah, you look at their drive summary and where they've started. They've started in plus territory in both of their touchdown drives. 4-play touchdown drive that went 38 yards. For an opening score, and then 2 drives later, it was the quick strike, 1-play, 37-yard touchdown pass from Sam Vidlac to Derek Bowler. And, you know, this is they're on a 10-play drive currently. Got 2nd and goal, and if they cash this in, then it really puts the pressure on the home team, UIW, who's been what has felt like unbeatable here at Benson Stadium for quite some time.
Eric Gray, the starting center, was the injured party for SFA. Hopefully he'll be okay as he had to be helped off of the field. Vidlac will roll out to the right. Has to throw it away. It's intercepted in the end zone. Chris Pierce could not hold on to it.
Oh, another just kind of give me interception. Vidlac throws it into harm's way, just never sees Chris Pierce. Would have hit him right in the numbers and just cannot secure it with his hands. 2 pass breakups last week, 4 for the season. He'll get credited for 1 right there, but he wish he had an interception.
Jenkins stumbles as he tried to cut in the backfield, and he's met by a swarm of Black Hats on a 3rd and goal from the 8, electing to run the ball. Vidlac didn't quite get the, I guess, additional push he was hoping for to see if that'd be 4-down territory, and the field goal unit comes out.
Yeah, he kind of tripped his own guy, Jenkins, with his left foot, trying to finish out his fake RPO throw. And, you know, a good stand, though, for Incarnate Word, just forcing a field goal attempt right here.
Carlos Alvarado will send this one away, a 30-yard attempt. It's 2 for 2 on the season, both of them coming last week against McNeese, and that one has plenty of height and distance to go through the uprights, and good. It is now SFA 17, UIW 3. We'll step aside. Cardinals need an answer big time when we come back on ESPN+. SFA offense held to a field goal on their most recent drive, but still a commanding lead of 2 full scores, 17-3. I'm Carl Schoening along with Sam Kamen. Happy y'all joined us for the Southland Conference clash between the Cardinals and the Lumberjacks. This will be Jacob Hand sending it away. First time it'll be returnable for UIW as it's taken by Chaden James, and he will not get far. Tackle to make sure that one should have been a touchback by Chance Salter.
Yeah, another shoestring tackle against Chaden James, and tough starting field position for Incarnate Word. They had their best drive though on that field goal. 14 plays, went 57 yards, capped off by that 36-yard field goal from Will Ferris, and see if they can't punch one in the end zone here to make it a one-score game.
Cardinals looking for some momentum to take into halftime. Still plenty of time before these teams hit the locker rooms. Colson has to escape a collapsing pocket, and he's not going to get anywhere as he was made sure by Victor Uduse III that he was only going to back to the line of scrimmage. That'd have been a loss.
And it's the secondary for Stephen F. Austin that's really creating problems. No separation for the Incarnate Word wide receivers. Colson trying to find some room to wiggle through to get some yards with his legs, but nowhere to go.
Quick pass intended for Zach Mitchell, a little low. And I would say that the SFA pressure and containment of E.J. Colson has really forced some of these quick throws, taking UIW out of their offense.
Absolutely correct, Carl. It's been the pressure early in the first quarter. Now they're going to some contained looks where they're just rushing 3 and 4, making E.J. Colson beat him with their arm, and the secondary has locked up all the wide receivers thus far. So see what they can do on 3rd and long here.
Colson has time to throw this time. Elects to bounce outside. Keeps his eyes downfield and just throws it away into the Cardinal sideline. Flag on the play, though.
This in the likes of holding, and probably a 3 and out here for Incarnate Word.
That holding is declined on Chantrell Key, and now a 3 and out for UIW's offense is not good news for the momentum that they were trying to build on their last drive. The sun setting almost entirely here at Benson Stadium. Welcome for both teams and broadcasters alike. Ryan Schamberger ready to send this away. Bugs Mortimer back deep to receive around the 40. Schamberger sends a beaut right to Mortimer, who has to backpedal for his momentum's sake. He's going backwards the wrong direction, and he'll finally get back to the 40 after being brought down by Caleb Lewis. And that was a lot of running for basically no yards on the return.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. He was going back to go forward, trying to go east to go north, and then just ended up getting right back to where he caught the ball. So no harm done, trying to create another big punt return like he did in the first quarter. But Sam Vidlac has been shown out so far in this first quarter and a half, and can really do some damage here if they put some more points up on this drive.
Vidlac play action, gets it out to the left side, tight roping the sideline after picking up several good yards for SFA is Clayton Wayland.
Sophomore from South Lake Carroll. Nice little hitch and turn to get some yards upfield after the catch, and that's what both teams have really been doing well with their quarterbacks, is trying to get the ball out early, negating the pass rush for both teams, and Stephen F. Austin's just been doing a better job of it so far.
Wembley gets the handoff, and 1 yard needed for the first down, easily given to him by the back-to-back Southland Conference Player of the Week, Jarrell Wembley.
He's been their rock so far last couple weeks, and haven't had to rely on him that much in this one so far.
Vidlac going deep down the left sideline, looking for Wayland, way overthrown and incomplete. And you have to feel like on 1st and 10, the way they're moving the ball, that they might go for go plays like that a couple times more.
Well, and you're at midfield too. That's where you kind of have a lot of those chances to have that sudden change, take a shot. This is kind of known as no man's land too as well, so it could be 4 down territory if need be for Coach Carthel.
Vidlak able to throw it and get it out to Harris, who makes a defender miss and stiff arms a defender as he steps out of bounds. Just shy of the yard to gain, 3rd and 1 as Harris gets into Cardinals territory.
And it's just a good job of making the first defender miss. If any wide receiver for both teams can make that first defender miss, breaks them open for a big gain. And the All-American, a top target for Sam Vidlak last year, another big catch and run, and 3rd and manageable for the Lumberjacks.
2 men in the backfield as Vidlak was just a distraction, a direct snap that UIW was able to play well as it was sent to Blaine Green, and Green stopped just short of the yard to gain. At least by my evaluation of the spot.
Yeah, trying to use the big body of Blaine Green, 6'2", 209, senior from Allen High School. They're going to go quick and try to do the same thing.
Low snap goes to Wembley. He's able to lower his head, loses the football, and UIW might have gotten on top of it. If nothing else, it's a turnover on downs.
Lumberjacks try to go for some trickeration with some direct snaps. This time it's Wembley, gets a low snap, and going low right there was also a UIW Cardinal, John Mathis. Low man wins, and it's the number 10 wearing black jerseys and black helmet that win it. What a stop there for the UIW defense.
Type of momentum that the Cardinals offense hopes to build on. Colson rolls out to the right. Complete, and a 1st down picked up by Jalen Waltall into SFA territory.
That's a great comeback route. Move the pocket for Colson. Find your go-to target on the outside. That'll get the offense going and get the chains moving again.
Jalen Spears stretching it to the left side, turns the corner, and will get across the 40 and fight a little bit further forward for a solid gain on the ground.
And here comes the tempo. Once they get rolling, they like to play some up-tempo football and see how many plays they can get off.
Colson drops back. Looking for the end zone on the left side. Overthrows his intended target. Once again going for Jamison Garcia, but wasn't in the area.
Jaden Johnson stride for stride with Jamison Garcia having himself a breakout redshirt sophomore year. 1st in the conference in receptions with 6.2 per game, 25 on the year. Leads the team with 354 receiving yards, but he has been blanketed so far against the Lumberjacks.
3rd and 3, ball on the 38. Cardinals could see this as 4 down territory. See what they do on this play. Jalen Spears lowers his shoulder. He's close, but I don't think he got to the yard to gain, and it should be 4th and about 1.
Needed the 40, got the 41, and knowing the aggressiveness of Coach Killo, already 0 for 1 and 4th down, where they were deep in their own territory. This is obviously ESPN Analytics say go for it right here.
Colson will drop back for a pass. Under pressure immediately, and he's not going to get it away, as that one will be taken down for a big tackle for loss by Jaden Southard.
They decided they wanted to use the arm of E.J. Colson, and Jalen Southard, another 4th down stop for Stephen F. Austin as we hit a break here at Benson Stadium.
17-3, SFA getting the football back up 17-3 when we come back. Cardinals going for it on 4th and 1. They elect to throw and it gets blown up by Jaden Southard as Southard sets up the SFA offense in plus territory. 49 on Cardinals side of the field, looking to add on to his 17-3 lead. Wembley can't bounce it outside, might have gotten a step forward.
Well, and here's the key stat, the whole tale of two different games. Last week for UIW, they ran for 301 yards on 59 attempts, had over 40 minutes of time of possession, also were great on 3rd down, 9 of 17, 3 of 4 on 4th down. It's been the complete opposite today. They're 1 of 6 on 3rd down, 0 for 2 on 4th down, and they have 0 rushing yards on 15 attempts.
Kylan Harris gets the completion pass from Vidlac, and 3rd and about 6 here. Cardinals defense could use a 3 and out. Vidlac drops back, hit as he throws, airs it out to the left side. It is caught in stride by Isaiah Davis. Davis able to shake away from the defender, stays on his feet for a touchdown. 45 yards from Sam Vidlac. Isaiah Davis gets his 2nd touchdown of the season.
He was that UTSA transfer playing in San Antonio at the rival school, and again, Jim Gush deciding to bring pressure, 0 blitz. Davis gets a step on the defender, and he finishes the catch and run into the end zone. Maybe a little bit of excessive celebration, but SFA up big on the road.
That's good after the score. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14 on the offense. That 15-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff.
So Davis gets unsportsmanlike conduct, probably in the area of celebration, as we've seen a few times here at Benson Stadium, not often from the opponent. And now for the point after attempt. Carlos Alvarado, once again, perfect on the year for point after attempts. Looks like they're going to go for 2. Alvarado will have a direct snap sent to him, and no, I think whistles blow this up as, let's see what the flags are about. Illegal shift is my guess.
That or a snap infraction.
That too.
And unfortunately for UIW, I think they were ready for it.
47 offense. The shot from the 8-yard line.
And now we'll have the point after attempt kick through most likely, and SFA will work on that next week.
And now everyone has film on it, though.
I'm not sure what they were trying to do, but I'm sure that they know what they were trying to do, and they could try it again should they want to. Alvarado a little bit further back now on the point after attempt. No trick this time, as that one was close to being blocked, but he was able to get it off in time for the point after to go through, and that'll send us into a media timeout. 24-3. It's been all Lumberjacks here at Benson Stadium this evening. Sam Vidlac and Isaiah Davis connect to bust this game wide open in Stephen F. Austin's favor, currently with a 24-3 lead. And what I imagine, if you're looking at the scores around the Southland, is a bit of a shocker. Everybody knew the Lumberjacks were good, but they're coming in and putting on a clinic at Benson Stadium. I'm Carl Schoening along with Sam Kamen. Happy y'all joined us on ESPN+. Penalty yardage from that touchdown on an unsportsmanlike from Davis makes this a longer kick that could be returnable. Obviously it will be here, as Harlan Dixon is able to get it across the 40 before being brought down, and UIW's offense will hopefully use this gift to make this a bit more interesting of a game.
Got to find some type of explosive play. Right now they're doing a good job of containing E.J. Colson in the pocket, with making sure he can't use his legs after having 103 yards last week. They're also doing a great job in the secondary, making sure everything stays in front of him. Colson being 10 for 15, 82 yards. His longest completion only being a 16-yard reception. So got to find some type of explosive play here.
Colson quickly over to the right side, caught by Logan Compton, and Compton's able to get that almost explosive play. Borderline, they say 15 yards is explosive play. He'll take 13.
Moves the chains, gets them in plus territory, and this feels like a must touchdown drive right before the half.
Colson working quickly, will hand it off to Spears. He stumbles in the backfield, and I think Spears might have lost about a step on the play. 2nd and long.
Now, Lumberjacks continued to win the point of attack. Neither team has had success running the football, but the Lumberjacks just out-physicaling the Cardinals' front 7 and offensive line.
Colson slowing the pace down. Quick spiral over to Jameson Garcia, who pulls in the catch across the 40 to the 38. Much more manageable 3rd down coming up.
Just a quick slant, again, getting the ball out of Colson's hands as quick as possible, trying to make sure the quick game is there to negate the pass rush. But now 3rd and 3. Where does the strategy go here? Trying to run it twice or use the arm of Colson.
Pistol formation for Colson. Waltall goes in motion. Straight drop back and a throw over to Waltall, who is hit as he makes the catch. Once again, Mayo forces another tackle, but it moves the chains as Walt was able to pull it in.
And it's a good job of knowing where the sticks are for Jalen Waltall. Gets beyond the sticks to where once he is hit and tackled, because he can't run for a 1st down, he's past the sticks, it's a 1st down catch. Good IQ there from the veteran.
Colson will change the play. Play clock to 4. Colson gets the snap off in time. Drops back. Has to roll out to the left. Wants to tuck it and run. Sutter steps and is able to get it to the 30-yard line. So nothing down the field. That's a little bit more along the lines of the E.J. Colson we've been expecting, extending the play.
Exactly that. But Stephen F. Austin making sure it's not a huge play because they've got a QB spy on him right now. With number 33, their best linebacker, Malachi Williams. Southland Conference Defensive Honorable Mention a couple weeks ago versus Cal Poly.
Spears exits out of the backfield as the snap comes to Colson. He'll throw over to the right side. It is pulled in, and nice catch by Jaden James. Close to the line to gain. Still about a yard needed.
Long developing route. See the progression, switching from one side of the field to the other. Beautiful ball there from E.J. Colson. And this would be a perfect opportunity and a much needed chance to punch it in the end zone because Stephen F. Austin is going to get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Suppose we'll see if perhaps Jaden James didn't complete the catch. Seemed pretty cut and dry to us up here, so we should see something else on the tape that sparked this review. Technically, I guess every play is actually looked at by our replay officials, so sometimes they radio down to say we have something, hold up the game. That's what this is about, I suppose.
Yeah, every turnover and scoring play is automatically reviewed. Take a look here. There's a little zig route there. Could even be the spot because it looked like he was.
Looks like that's first down.
At the 18, spotted at the 18 and a half.
From that angle that we just saw, I think it's a first down, and that will save the Cardinals a 3rd and 1.
Or even less than 1.
The downside to this is UIW was starting to pick up a little bit of rhythm on offense, and this review pulling them out of it. But it seems to me that that catch was a catch for sure. It's just a matter of the spot, I suppose.
Rather have a fresh set of downs if you're UIW.
Chance to talk things over right now, 2:28.
Exactly that.
Probably the last play before the 2-minute timeout. Cardinals, if they want a tempo, might be able to get 2 off. I think Clint Killow is expressing that his team's losing his rhythm that he wanted to establish, giving the defense time to talk things over as well. Might have to mark down for the UIW coaches show that I have with Clint Killow before home games every Wednesday, that if he remembers this review and what he was saying and his thoughts on it.
Write it down right now.
So it's upheld, which probably just adds to Clint Killow's frustration. He would hope for the first down, but he obviously wanted to keep the game rolling, and now his team faces that 3rd and 1 they were going to face either way. Cardinals break the huddle. Colson gives it to Spears, and Spears is brought down from behind. I don't think he got the yard to gain.
I don't think so either. Again, not getting any push up front is the Cardinal offensive line.
Jalen Mayo comes in here and makes a great tackle. And that'll be the 2-minute timeout. 24-3. UIW looking to salvage this first half with a 4th and 1 when we come back here on ESPN+. 4th and 1 for the UIW offense out of the 2-minute timeout. They trail at 24-3 and could use the score going into the locker rooms in a big way. Colson going to run it this time as he follows Spears. Will get the first down and a little bit more as he lowers his shoulder into the red zone.
Just QB power all the way and getting a head of steam is E.J. Colson. Just what you need to move the chains and try and punch this in for 6.
Cardinals going to tempo. Colson on the play action. Quick throw over to the right side. It is completed, and Jackson Lowe will get the first. Will get a few yards forward to about the 16.
First catch tonight for him. 3 catches for 22 yards on the season coming into this game. But again, everything for E.J. Colson has felt like a check down today.
They only gave Lowe a yard on that. Felt a little further downfield, and now Colson with Lontrell Turner in the backfield. Directs some traffic. Waltall goes in motion. Lontrell Turner can't get past the left end. 3rd down.
You just cannot get anything going offensively on the ground. And Coach Carthel wants to save some time for his offense to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, you'd assume UIW will at least come out of this drive with a field goal attempt, in which case SFA, we've seen Sam Vidlak make some phenomenal passes that have led to explosive plays. Most recently, the 45-yard touchdown to Isaiah Davis.
Yeah, his 3 touchdown passes for 20 yards to begin the game to Harris, 37-yard touchdown to Bowler, and then that most recent touchdown, 45 yards to Davis. 13 for 17, 160 or 176 yards through the air, 3 TDs, no interceptions. Sam Vidlak is slinging it right now.
Empty backfield for E.J. Colson. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 16 in Lumberjack territory. Spears will rejoin Colson in the backfield. Colson looking for the end zone. just off of the hand of Chaden James, incomplete. 4th and 8 and field goal unit might not come out onto the field as Colson will accept it after this incompletion.
I thought that was going to drop right in the bucket for Chaden James. Just a touch too much from E.J. Colson, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal here, needing some points.
34-yard attempt for Ferris. Will Ferris sends that one through the uprights and good. UIW has gotten on the board thanks to Will Ferris twice now, but SFA has a minute 27 to extend their lead before halftime.
And knowing their tempo, their type of offense with Sam Vidlak at the helm. 1:27, 1 timeout to go. Very doable to at least respond with a field goal of their own and try to kind of double dip here as they'll get the ball to start the second half. And what their defense has been the story, though, holding UIW to just 114 yards through the air, only 9 yards on the ground on 20 carries. I mean, they're one of the best in the country, first in the conference, and only giving up 267 yards per game in total offense. That's also 7th best in the entire FCS.
Richard Reese will have a chance to return. This does so at the goal line. Takes it down the hash, looking for a gap. Trying to give his offense a little bit better field positioning. Does so close to the 30. They'll round up and say that's where he's brought down. So 70 yards separates SFA from another score in a minute 19 left to go in the first half.
And the biggest thing for Sam Vidlak is just do not put the ball in harm's way. At worst, you want to go into the locker room with this 24-6 lead. The last thing you need to do is give UIW more momentum with a turnover and try possibly putting points on the board with 1:19 left.
Vidlak under pressure as he releases this one to a screen set up to Wembley. Wembley's able to follow his blockers across the 35, just shy of the first down, gaining 9.
And a great play call to start the drive. An easy completion with a halfback screen. See how much you can get on first down to see how aggressive you want to be the rest of the drive.
Toss Wembley will pick up the first down, finishing what he started and get to the 45.
Clock will stop as they reset the chains, and now they can really be aggressive here.
1 timeout remaining for SFA. 2 for UIW should that come into play. Vidlak will give to Wembley again, who will try and follow the right side of the line, and they run right into Jeremiah Young, who completes the tackle after a gain of 2.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't take a shot right there, but again, trying to milk some clock here.
Play action. Vidlak sends the play to the left, throws down the left sideline, incomplete as he throws it into his own team sideline.
Again, very smart veteran play, not forcing the ball into harm's way. Just throw the ball away, and because you ran the ball on first down, milked all that clock, now 20 seconds left in the half. If you can get a first down, quickly up to the ball, spike the ball, save that timeout for a potential field goal at the end of the half.
Yeah, looking back at it, running into that ball on first down, a bit of a head scratcher. Vidlak throws across the middle, completed as pulled in by Wayland, and gets the first down to stop the clock at 14 seconds.
Coach Carthel signaling to spike the ball quickly.
Will be a quick spike there as Vidlak perhaps took an unnecessary step back, but 9 seconds remaining, and 2nd and 10 here for perhaps one final play for the offense before the field goal unit comes out. And honestly, you probably don't try a field goal from this distance.
The long for Alvarado is 40 yards last week. So that would mean they need to get to about the 23-yard line. That's a 20-yard pickup.
Vidlak will be sacked. Looking too far down the field. Jeremiah Young comes up with the tackle and pushes him back to the 49-yard line. Timeout called by UIW. Or
Stephen F. Austin.
Stephen F. Austin, I should say, as that'll be their final timeout. 3 seconds left, 24-6. And perhaps a Hail Mary.
Well, and that's again, coverage sack there. Keeping that offhand available was number 14. Big number, Joe Caddy from Houston Christian. And UIW has had trouble defending Hail Marys in the past. In conference games, lost a heartbreaker to Southeastern Louisiana on a Hail Mary. Earlier this season, Northern Arizona was able to convert on a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. And so what's the worst you can do if you're Stephen F. Austin is throw an interception in the end of the end zone where UIW would have to return it the full length of the field. That's just unlikely, but I guess it could happen.
And going back to that Northern Arizona Hail Mary, I imagine the UIW defense has been told to bat down any balls. They tried to intercept it, and that led to the opportunity for the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona to come up with a Hail Mary. Second time in as many years that UIW has played 2 Lumberjacks in the same season. Now this time it will be UIW taking the timeout. They have 1 remaining. SFA doesn't have any more. Suppose icing the quarterback instead of icing the kicker.
And it's more of just, hey, again, how are they lining up? What are they kind of expected to do? Again, re-emphasizing the fact of batting the ball down and how you want to defend this potential Hail Mary. Because I would assume this is a Hail Mary versus a hook and ladder situation.
Vidlak certainly has an arm, but will his teammates have time to get down the field? They're 49 yards away. Vidlak steps up in the pocket, does have time to air this one out. And again, batted down. Kendrick Stone does the honors, taking us into halftime. SFA with a dominant first half. Still 30 minutes to play, but UIW is going to need an inspirational speech. 24-6. Lumberjacks with the lead here at the half at Benson Stadium. Halftime coming to a close. It's SFA leading UIW 24-6. I'm Carl Schoening on with Sam Kamen. And Sam, to make matters worse for UIW, SFA deferred, and they will be receiving the opening kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, much needed stop for this UIW defense. And honestly, there's not a whole lot of adjusting for this Jim Gush defense outside of the main key is continue to get more pressure on Sam Vidlak. Only sacked twice, a reason why he's looked comfortable, looked composed the entire first 30 minutes. 15 for 21, 195, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Gotta feel like this Incarnate Word defense has to create a turnover to spark their offense and get this crowd into it, because right now they're not being able to move the ball with their explosive plays. A turnover would be that explosive plays that maybe kickstart this UIW team and gives them some confidence quickly in the second half.
Despite the score, it has been entertaining to see both quarterbacks successfully get over 100 yards in that first half. Both quarterbacks distributing the wealth as they've found 8 different targets for their completions. Both quarterbacks completing 15 of 21. Just SFA's Sam Vidlak has been able to get those explosive plays that have led to his 3 passing touchdowns and pretty much the lopsided score we see.
Well, you also look at third down efficiency for both teams. SFA 4 for 8, UIW 2 for 9, including only 1 of 3 on fourth down, where last week they were just spectacular. 9 of 17 on third down, 3 of 4 on fourth down. They held the ball for 40 minutes because they were able to sustain drives and they were able to run the ball. 59 attempts for 301 against a ranked Wildcats team. It just has not been the same today. They've got to rewrite the last 30 minutes with a really good second half to see if they can overcome this 18-point deficit.
Richard Reese elects to try and return that. He's not going to get far. The tackle to make that worse than a touchback made by Pig Cage.
So let's see what type of adjustments were made at the half by defensive coordinator Jim Gush. They really liked to bring pressure, put their defensive backs in a lot of man-to-man coverage. Got burned a couple times on those 3 touchdown passes. See where they elect to move here on the first drive of the second half.
Wembley trying to turn the corner and does around the left end before ducking forward for a solid gain on first down.
It's been a quiet night for Jarrell Wembley. That's only his 10th carry of the game.
Vidlak will pass. Swings it over to the left side, caught by Clayton Wayland, and will be short of the first down. UIW defense trying to get a 3-and-out to start the half.
Yeah, immediately tackling Wayland was Chris Pierce. Great break on the ball, meeting him as the ball was hitting his hands. Sure tackle on the outside, and ahead of the chains is SFA. Third and manageable, but a much needed stop would go a long way for this UIW team.
Vidlak design run will go around right in. He lowers his shoulder right into a defender at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up fourth down.
They actually brought in Gavin Rutherford, the 6'1", 209 redshirt sophomore from Cisco Ranch. More of a running quarterback, bigger body, and UIW was ready for it. Dune Smith on the tackle, and a huge 3-and-out for the Cardinals to start the third quarter.
Gavin Rutherford does have 4 carries for 9 yards. Suppose that's perhaps his role. Good eye by you, Sam, to catch him subbing in. They sacrificed the backup quarterback's body and unable to get the yard to gain. The punt here, a fair catch called for by Morton, and UIW's offense trying to get things off on the right foot as set up by the defense with a 3-and-out.
That step 1 complete for Coach Killo coming out of the half. Get that 3-and-out and see what you can muster up here. Calling the plays this year. Is starting to find his rhythm with his entire offense. This being week number 7 total. Had a week 0 game, but the 6th game of this year. Last couple weeks, they've really found their rhythm. See if they can regain it here in the second half.
Lontrell Turner was held up as he tried to burst through the trenches. Still picks up a couple of yards.
And they don't want to abandon the running game. You got plenty of time, down 18. You can't put everything on the arm of E.J. Colson because then it makes you one-dimensional.
Lorick in motion. Colson has another jump pass go to Lontrell Turner. Turner gets across the 35 and steps out of bounds near the 40 after picking up the first down for UIW.
And again, good coverage down the field, working through his progressions, finding an open guy, get the ball to your playmakers, let them move in space, and Lontrell Turner picks up 10 yards on the last 2 plays to move those chains.
Colson changes the play at the line of scrimmage. 15 seconds on the play clock. Colson scans and fires to the left. Incomplete. Jamison Garcia couldn't hold on.
Tried to go with a quick slant all the way to the far side, outside receiver, and just a little bit behind Jamison Garcia. Tried to slide to slow his body down for that catch, and they just have not been clicking on the same page as they had the last few weeks.
Colson will hand it off, and Lontrell Turner able to dart forward and set up a 3rd and manageable as he picks up about 5, but UIW looks like they're going to be in a passing down here.
Good open field tackle from Aaron Spears. If he doesn't make that tackle, Lontrell Turner's off to the races. The edge free safety coming down, meeting him for just a gain of 4.
Compton goes in motion. Colson scans to the left, whistle, stop play. Have a false start called on UIW. Checking in with Craig Helser.
False start. Number 3. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jaden James, the guilty party for UIW, making this 3rd down conversion a bit harder.
And head coach Kobe Carthel talking with defensive coordinator Mike Mux. And Mutz has dialed up a lot of exotic pressures. They drew one up right there to create the false start. See what he dials up here on 3rd and 11.
As Jaden James goes in motion, a new play call comes in from the sidelines. Play clock down to 4. Colson has to hurry to get the snap off. Just barely. Throws across the middle. It's completed. Josh Lorick picks up a lot of that penalty yard and a little bit more to make this a 4th and about 3. Clint Killo's not going to blink.
And again, just a shoestring tackle by Stephen F. Austin. Jaden Southard. If Josh Lorick breaks that, he has a 1st down and plenty more. And because UIW was going so quick, UIW had, or Stephen F. Austin has to use the timeout to make sure they're on the right page.
And we'll take a break with the players on the field. 24-6, SFA with the lead, but a defensive decision make here right now. A big 4th and 2 coming up for the UIW offense as they try to cut into this 24-6 Stephen F. Austin lead. They're going to take their chances at their own 48. Colson. Quick throw over to the left side. It's completed. Lontrell Turner picks up the 1st down, and then he fumbles it out of bounds. That should be a football move and a 1st down for UIW, though.
Great design there by Coach Killo and the offensive staff. Hard to cover a running back out of the backfield, and lucky for Lontrell Turner, the fumble just went out of bounds, so they'll move the ball back to where he fumbled it. Still good for 1st down yardage.
Cardinals in Lumberjack territory at the 45. Quick swing out to the left side. Josh Lorick with some speed down the sideline. Makes a defender miss as he picks up 8 yards before being shoved out of bounds.
And I like this adjustment from UIW of using more misdirection and using more of an option style. You had Lorick almost with a speed option look with E.J. Colson with that RPO. Able to read that edge defender, seeing he's cracking down on Lontrell Turner, throws it out wide, gives it to Lorick for a big gain on 1st down.
Colson, another swing out to the left side. It is completed for another Cardinals 1st down. They move the chains thanks to Jamison Garcia.
Yeah, just a quick 3-yard hitch, catch and throw. Again, they're getting the ball out of E.J. Colson's hand as quick as possible. trying not to have this Lumberjack rush get to him like they have 4 times in this first half.
About 4 minutes on the drive, UIW's already picked up a 4th down conversion. Then they move the ball to the 32 in Lumberjack territory. Colson thought about the quick swing out to Garcia. Gets it off to Lontrell Turner, who fumbles it yet again. He's able to pick it up and get it, but a big loss on the play. Should have just dropped the pass.
Yeah, that one was just busted from the start. A great jump on the outside. And then just better pursuit by purple helmets, white t-shirts. Stephen F. Austin, big tackle for loss on first down, and they've created plenty of those this year. 41 total. First in the conference, top 5 in the country in that category.
Makes this a 2nd and 18 from the 40. And a bobbled snap. Colson's able to keep his composure, but he is hit a couple times before being brought down. Man to the backfield. Victor DC is the man who gets the tackle.
Kai Thomas was there as well, and again, just back-to-back plays. UIW out of sorts, and once EJ Colson kind of bobbled that snap, he was searching to get his eyes back upfield, but then with that pass rush again, your eyes wander to where you need to escape to, and now it's 3rd and forever.
Colson lobs it to Jalen Spears. Spears splits the defender at midfield and was able to get to the 45, but 4th down and no man's land here. UIW will bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, too far to really feel good about going for this and converting, so try and play a little bit of field position, see if your defense can't get another stop, create a turnover.
Kylan Harris back deep to receive this punt from Ryan Schamberger. Harris calls for the fair catch as it angles out of bounds. And he caught it before it goes that direction, and inside the 15 is where SFA will start their drive when we restart the broadcast here. We'll step aside and pay some bills. 6:32 remaining. SFA can add their lead when we come back. 6:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter. SFA trying to add on to their 24-6 lead after getting it back from UIW that had some momentum until a big tackle for loss put them behind the chains that was unrecoverable, and now Sam Vidlak and the Lumberjacks trying to add on. Vidlak has it tapped, and a tip drill end up in one of his receivers' hands, as saving the day was the man who caught a touchdown earlier, Derek Bowler.
Yeah, great job of continuing his hitch route back to the quarterback, and you know, Vidlak's had a couple of those passes that could have been intercepted. That was another one, just a tipped ball, but continuing to throw a goose egg up, not turning the ball over. Very key for the Lumberjacks with the lead.
Wembley tries to go up the middle, is able to find a little hole before he is brought down just across the 20. 3rd down coming up. UIW's defense forced a 3 and out on the first drive for SFA, trying to do it again. Toss here, Wembley trying to bounce outside. He's able to make a couple defenders miss, gets across the 30 for the first down and pushed out of bounds just past the 35-yard line, and they move the chains.
Steady Eddie has been Jarrell Wembley, finally able to break one there. Just a little halfback toss, getting to the outside, getting to the 2nd level, and a big first down for the Jacks.
And SFA also seems to be in not much of a hurry as they let some of the play clock dwindle down. Quick pass out to the left side, completed to Harris, and another solid gain to keep the Lumberjacks on schedule for the most part, as they've been a little conservative and the clock keeps moving.
Just a quick wide receiver screen, and Harris trying to go to the outside. Picks up, call it 2, but those screens are just an extension of the run game, and able to dink and dunk, stay ahead of the chains, and be manageable on 3rd downs.
Vidlak hit as he throws. Is able to get it off to Whalen, and Whalen gets across midfield and down the left sideline. Nobody in front of him. Across the 20, evades one would-be tackler and is dropped just shy of the goal line, down at the 3. Clayton Whalen with an explosive play into UIW territory.
And Sam Vidlak showing some stones right there. Able to take the hit, deliver the ball to Whalen. Another great job spinning to the outside, evading the first tackler, and just inside the 5-yard line goes Stephen F. Austin, ready to blow this game wide open.
Jalen Jenkins unable to finish off the drive, but will make this a 2nd and goal from about the 2.
And this is their jumbo package right here. Sam Vidlak out, Gavin Rutherford in.
No touchdowns on the ground yet. Wembley in the game, might be rewarded with one. Pistol formation might change here as it goes to a power eye look. Handoff, Wembley takes a defender with him into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. Jarrell Wembley with his 4th touchdown of the season. 1st touchdown on the day on the ground for SFA, and they open up a commanding 30-6 lead.
Power eye, power football from Stephen F. Austin, and they continue to be more physical than UIW. And that's been the key emphasis for Incarnate Word the last few years, is continuing to be the more physical team. They've learned that from the Dakota schools, and just today, it's Stephen F. Austin winning that physicality battle.
Alvarado sends the point after attempt through the uprights and good, and it's 31-6 as we take a timeout. Or beg your pardon, we won't take a timeout. It's SFA, though, just dominating the scoreboard, and UIW, you know, that's what you were doing. You were telling me it was offsides. I couldn't quite understand your motion, and it will be offsides, but it doesn't matter. As now we will take that timeout and step aside. 31-6, SFA with the lead. 31-6, it's been all SFA this evening at Benson Stadium. UIW with an 8-game winning streak here at home. Potentially going to be broken here pending just a absolute avalanche of a scoring run from UIW. Not impossible, but would certainly be a flip of the script as it's been written so far today. No opportunity to return as it is sent by Jacob Hann into the end zone. Sam, you know, UIW needs to extend this game, but SFA's defense has been near perfect today.
Oh, they've been that all season. They're one of the top defenses in the conference. They show it throughout the country in their opponents' points per game, total yards per game. They win the turnover battle. They do a good job limiting teams in the red zone. They're a complete defense, and when they can put it together with the type of offense they've got, they're one of those teams that, again, probably should be ranked right now. But you win this game, you finish it off. If you're Stephen F. Austin, there's going to be a lot of voters that are going to be putting you in the top 25 next week for sure.
Jalen Waltall picks up about 8 yards on first play from scrimmage. Colson once again looking to throw. Completes it, Jalen Spears, and he was able to haul it in and make this a 3rd and about 2 coming up.
They're in desperate need of a touchdown. They can't settle for field goals anymore. down 25. It's a 4-possession game.
Colson fires a pass to Chaden James, who picks up the first down for UIW.
And remember, if you're UIW, it's one play at a time. You work with plenty of pace. That's the name of your offense. Just have to go one play at a time, 1 yard at a time.
Caught by Josh Glorick. He'll pick up the first down and get pushed out of bounds. Finishing off the play, Southard makes sure that that one didn't explode for more, but now UIW stringing together some passes.
And when they don't sub, SFA's got to be quick subbing. But because UIW did sub, it gives the defense plenty of time to figure out what subs they need to make personnel-wise.
Cardinals in Lumberjack territory and a timeout taken by SFA. That's their second of the half, and well, I guess SFA sensed that UIW's momentum was picking up. They decided that they needed to talk things over.
Well, and again, they tried to do 2 or 3 different rounds of substitutions. They subbed their defensive line first, then their linebackers, and then their secondary last. And at that point, the umpire over the ball has to let UIW be able to run a play, and they had 12 men on the field, so coach decided to burn their second timeout the same way they burned their first timeout earlier this half.
So 1:13 remaining in the third. UIW would love to be able to get a touchdown on the board to take some momentum into the final 15 minutes of play. Currently have been kept from hitting pay dirt today. 2 field goals, the only points UIW has put up on the scoreboard. Colson under pressure as he throws a deep one. Caught in stride and pulling it in and near the end zone. See if they call that close, but goes to Jameson Garcia for explosive play and first and goal from the 3.
Great job of staying in the pocket was E.J. Colston, threw it in the breadbasket, and UIW on the brink of the end zone.
Spears tried to go up the middle. He was denied in the whistle stop play. Second and goal coming up. And Jameson Garcia, someone who's had an explosive breakout season. Statistically, the best receiver through the young year for the Cardinals, coming into today's game with 25 catches for 354 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that 41-yard reception really gets him going. Now 3 catches for 54 yards, but they got to punch it in for 6 here.
Power for Colson. He slips up as he saw a wall of purple helmets, and flags come in at the end of the play. There was really nowhere for Colson to go. We'll see what the laundry's about.
Probably in the sights of holding. It's all the way in the end zone, so I'm kind of surprised.
Craig Helser talking it over with his crew.
Trying to lip read. I thought I saw offense, but he'll get us straight and right.
Walking away. Number 0, offense. 50-yard penalty run. Second down.
Quantrell Turner with an improper block, and see if we can see it here.
Trying to go QB power, and yeah, that wouldn't. They're trying to take that chop block out of the game, and I know that's what running backs have been taught to do for so many years. Sometimes can't break those habits, and it cost them 15 as we go to the 4th quarter.
Second and goal from the 23 when we come back for UIW. That's how much work they have cut out for them. 31-6. It's been all SFA today. Final 15 minutes to play here. Stephen F. Austin leads UIW 31-6. UIW with a 2nd and goal from the 18 to try and cut into this SFA lead and see if some magic can happen in the final frame. And miscommunication almost intercepted as that one ended up just touching the hands of the defensive back on the play, Aaron Austin.
Yeah, E.J. Colson and Jalen Waltall not on the same page there. Colson throwing the fade to Waltall. He's stopped right at the 10-yard line. So now 3rd and goal from the 18.
Colson has to get rid of it and does so to Josh Glorick, who's immediately brought down on the play. Tackle made by Southard, and that'll bring out 4th down and the field goal unit for UIW.
Yeah, just kind of a interesting play call, trying to make maybe 4th and goal a little bit more manageable because you are down 4 possessions, and you need touchdowns, can't keep settling for field goals. But so far, Will Ferris has done a good job of converting on these opportunities.
37-yard attempt for Ferris. Well, he's had a good day for the Cardinals as he sends that one through, and it's 31-9. SFA leads. UIW at least cuts into SFA just a little bit. But, you know, while we have a moment, let's look forward into SFA's future and see their next 5 games. As, you know, after tonight, it's the halfway mark of the season for the Lumberjacks. And for SFA, they'll have a bye week, and then they'll host Nicholls down there in Nacogdoches. Travel to Commerce to take on East Texas A&M. Start in November, they host UTRGV, Houston Christian, University formerly known as Houston Baptist, and then Lamar. Not shown there, the last game of the regular season for SFA at Northwestern State. But tell you what, the way they're playing today, that might not be the last game of their season.
Oh, exactly that. I guess that you could say they get a good draw of not necessarily having to play Southeastern Louisiana because there's now 9 teams in the conference and only an 8-game, or 10 teams in the conference, but only an 8-game schedule in the regular season. So you don't play one team. Their one team they don't play is Southeastern Louisiana. So they've got at least one more ranked matchup if Lamar can stay ranked right now, and that could be the decider potentially of who wins the conference tournament or conference championship.
Richard Reese trying to return that, and Isaiah Pruitt makes sure that that doesn't go too far, and the 21-yard line is where SFA will start this drive. Up 31-9. 14:04 remaining in this final frame. I imagine Stephen F. Austin will keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. And instead it's bounced on over and incomplete, intended for Clayton Wayland.
He's had a career day though, 6 receptions, breaking the century mark, 100 yards even, with his last catch going for 58 yards, and just in a very explosive offense. And it's been at the right time for the Jacks and the wrong times for the Cardinals today.
Quick pass out to the left side, going nowhere for Bugs Mortimer, as that was kind of telegraphed, and UIW's defense on top of it.
Injured Cardinal in the secondary. Looks like it's Chris Pierce. Might have gotten popped on a potential blindside block.
Pierce hops right back up and will go to the sideline for UIW, so we can resume the game a little bit quicker. Hopefully Pierce is okay. He's an important part of that UIW secondary. Cardinals also coming up on a bye week after tonight's game. They'll return here to Benson Stadium to host East Texas A&M on October 18th. 3rd and 10, SFA still in their huddle. Play clock down to 20. Vidlak hands it off. Wembley was able to burst through the trenches, but stops short of the yard to gain. And fourth down will bring out the punting unit for the Lumberjacks. Well, UIW not out of it yet. They could really use a special teams effort here to, if nothing else, make the offensive job a little bit easier.
You need a spark. If the offense can't put it in the end zone thus far, see if a blocked punt or a punt return for a touchdown can get the momentum and energy back in this crowd.
Jaden James back deep to receive the punt here from Lockie Posabon.
Delay of game.
You know, not the biggest of deals in the grand scheme of things, 5 yards in a 31-9 game, but UIW looking for breaks any way they can get. So perhaps these 5 yards could help them out in the long run. Lumberjacks don't seem too fazed by it. James will field it at the 32. Takes a couple defenders with him to about the 37, and UIW's offense needs a touchdown on this drive. 12:19 remaining in the ball game. UIW looking for some momentum when we come back. 31-9, SFA with the lead. UIW has the football back, seeing if they can make the score at least a little more respectable. E.J. Colson steps up. Sends it down the field deep and just misses his target. Jalen Waltall could have had another highlight to add to the reel, but we have a flag all the way back to see if this goes against UIW. Does so indeed. Backs up the Cardinals 10 yards. Well, when it rains, it pours, Sam.
And the penalties were one of those things for UIW early in the season in their losses. Just too much to overcome. And, you know, if there's any solace in that ball not being completed, it's because, hey, there was a holding penalty behind the play, which would have negated the whole thing.
Spears with the give. Spears makes a defender miss as he stiff arms across the 40 to the 50, and he is out of bounds just before he got across into SFA territory. And after all of that, still not quite first down. Well, we do move the chains, and big play.
I was about to say, that's the longest run for them today. The previous longest rush was a 10-yard run by E.J. Colson.
So I stand corrected. They motioned to move the chains, but it was going to be 2nd and 1 now. Colson play action. Under pressure, escapes to the left. Keeps his eyes down the field and just throws it away. Another flag in the area of a hold.
It's going to be another chop block.
One step forward, 2 steps back, almost literally here, as another personal foul called against UIW will back them up from a 2nd and 1 near midfield to a 2nd and 16 inside the 35.
Tough couple plays for Chantrell Key. That time was able to hold off his blocker or rusher just long enough, and then lost his footing as he went low on him to draw that penalty.
It's a completed pass to Jalen Waltall that eats up some of those penalty yards and makes this a 3rd and 9.
And down by 22. This is probably going to be 4-down territory the rest of the way, no matter where the Cardinals are.
Yeah, no point in punting it at this point.
One thing that they might want to consider the rest of the way is not substituting anyone, because once they substitute, Stephen F. Austin is taking their time with their subs.
Colson on a quick throw to the left side, caught by Jamison Garcia, gets across midfield, lowers his shoulder into a defender, picks up the first down, and adds a little bit of "we're not done yet" with that motion.
Absolutely not. Finishing off the catch and run is Jamison Garcia. Okay, sir. We see the fight in you right now.
Colson airs it out to the right side. Intercepted. Jalen Mayo comes down with the pick. We've been talking about him all game. He's able to read that one, intercept.
First interception of the season for Jalen Mayo. Drew the task of guarding Jalen Waltall all game long, and a great job of sticking with him. Ball underthrown, and another turnover created by this Jacks defense. +2 in turnover margin today.
UIW looked like they had something cooking there after the Jamison Garcia first down, and had that gone the other way, they would have been in the red zone, but instead SFA takes over inside the 15. Vidlak remains in the ball game, and he'll just hand it off Wembley. Wembley hit by Dune Smith. He was trying to break it through as Declan Williams was in there to finish it off as well.
And again, this is must stop territory, must 3 and out for Incarnate Word. Again, that zone scheme for Stephen F. Austin. Dude Smith sliding to his left and then punishing Wembley in the hole.
Wembley gets another handoff, and he's able to cut back to the middle, but not much more than a couple yards out to about the 15 before forward progress is stopped. Tell you what, though, Sam Vidlak in person, just as impressive as he seems on the tape and on the statistics.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you only get to see what's on paper, and then now with ESPN Plus, seeing all the different streams and games he's put together, and he's looked the part today. 19 for 26, 261, and 3 tutties.
Wembley once again gets the handoff, and a few Cardinals defenders will tackle him from behind. 4th down, and you know, SFA didn't really seem too interested in putting the ball in the air at all. And with 8:30 remaining and the clock moving, UIW once again will get the ball back and have a chance to cut into this SFA lead.
And Vidlak's upset with a couple of his receivers being on the wrong assignment. He's a veteran player, senior that's been around the block. Oregon State, Boise State, Montana. Just recently got married and had a kid, and again, he is a veteran presence on this Stephen F. Austin team.
Tyler Morton didn't hear the whistles that stopped the play before he exploded, and it looks like that will start the drive at the 50 after this timeout for Incarnate Word. 8:01 remaining in the ball game. UIW gets the football back, down 31-9 when we come back. Midfield is where UIW will start this drive. 31-9. Incarnate Word trying to hit double digits in their scoreboard. E.J. Colson remains in the ball game. He'll drop back under pressure. Escapes it out to the left. Fires it down the left sideline. It is caught, hauled in by Zach Mitchell. And UIW has something cooking as they start at midfield. They did get into SFA territory.
And that's the first time E.J. Colson has actually broken the contain of the Lumberjack pass rush keeps his eyes upfield, throws a dart, a big gain to get their drive going.
Another look for the end zone and almost got his intended target in motion, Lontrell Turner, and then almost tip drilled into a couple would-be catchers, one on offense, one on defense, incomplete.
Almost a carbon copy of the last play and just out of the reach of Lontrell Turner. He catches that, he's in for 6. It's the quick score that UIW needed, down 3 scores. Instead, incompletion. 2nd and 10.
Still plenty of ball game left. Option, keeping it Colson. Lowers his shoulder inside the 15. So Cardinals in the red zone now. And as we mentioned, everything's 4-down territory at this point.
Well, and again, it should be turbo mode for Incarnate Word. Must score touchdown drive here. They still have all 3 of their timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. So if they can score on the next play or two, have about 6 minutes left on the game clock, get a 3 and out, try and score before the 2-minute timeout, they've got a legit shot of coming back.
Colson to throw. Sidearms out to Lontrell Turner. Turner got back to the line of scrimmage, not much more. Great open field tackle there made by Jaden Southard.
So now here it is. 4th and 2. Again, must score. Don't have to score on this play, but have to extend this drive.
4th and 2.
Looks like it's going to be coverage 0, man-to-man from Stephen F. Austin here.
Colson rolls out to the left, looks downfield, doesn't have what he's looking for, and he'll be brought down. Turnover on downs as SFA's defense continues to be dominant and gets the ball back for their offense. 31-9, SFA can add on to their lead and burn a whole lot of clock. We're going to step aside here on ESPN+. 5:57 remaining in the ball game. SFA gets the ball back on a turnover on downs as UIW unable to convert on 4th down. And now I imagine SFA's offense aiming to burn as much clock as they can. Sam Vidlak remains in at quarterback. False start will be asked for by the UIW defensive line and their wishes granted. Five yards, not too consequential there for SFA, but last time out on the field, their offense went 3 and out because they were conservative and just kind of kept the clock rolling with some handoffs. Vidlak will continue the trend, handing off to Wembley. Wembley lowers his shoulder into a defensive crowd and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, at this point for Stephen F. Austin, it's clock's on your side. Don't turn the ball over. Let your defense continue to ride this one out. The dominant performance. Bend but don't break. Showing why they're one of the best defenses in the entire country.
2nd and 15, Vidlak keeps it simple and hands it off Wembley. Wembley brought down for a loss behind the 20 and 3rd down on the way, but you know, we were just mentioning it, SFA is okay with that. As off air, we were talking about how SFA had plenty of chips on their shoulders going into this game as UIW denied them so many things last year. Among them also included they won the Southland Conference on the field there at Homer Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches.
Exactly. Sam Vidlak and Kylan Harris kind of took a big backseat to Zach Calzada and Jalen Waltall. Obviously a close loss on their home turf, 27-17 to 20 last year, and they have flipped the script from a year ago, and at this rate they're going to send the reigning Southland champs to an 0-2 start to conference play, while the Jacks improved to 2-0.
Well, mission accomplished in terms of burning clock. No first down picked up, but they're going to get more than 2 minutes of game time off before this punt is sent away. Tyler Morton hoping to have something explosive happen for UIW's cause. Morton will allow it to go out of bounds, and they'll figure out where that one angled, but it looks like it'll remain on UIW's side with 3:41 remaining. Incarnate Word can try and make this at least a little bit more respectable in the point differential department.
3:41. Not over until it hits triple zeros, but just the lack of explosive plays makes it look very bleak for Incarnate Word. Had a couple of their last drives just have potential, and then an interception, and in the red zone where the interception was caught and then stopped in the red zone on a turnover on downs.
Explosive run through the trenches by Jalen Spears, who gets 9 yards before being tripped up. Incarnate Word was hoping for the first down to stop the clock, in which case clock is going to be stopped either way for an injured Cardinal.
Second down.
Medical staff tending to UIW offensive lineman Brandon Jackson. Let's check out the upcoming schedule for UIW, as they'll have a bye week before hosting East Texas A&M. That'll be the next broadcast and game here at Benson Stadium. They travel the road to take on UTRGV to wrap up October, host Lamar to open up November, in Natchitoches for the Northwestern State matchup, and then Southeastern Louisiana will be the second to last game of the season. Last one not on the graphic there is at Northwestern State, November 20th. UIW hoping for a big change to happen in their conference play. It looks like the ball might have gotten loose, recovered by UIW, and they pick up the first down as big man decides to get some yards. Danny Valenzuela, officially the man who crosses the first down marker for UIW with the football.
Center, right spot, right time. Keeps the drive alive for Incarnate Word, keeps their chances for a comeback alive as well.
Jalen Spears stutter steps into the defense that got past the trenches for a loss of 2. And a little bit of extracurricular activities happening on the left side of the field, and the officials, I don't know if they saw what happened, but they might delay this game to see if Chaden James had a little bit too much of extracurricular with Michael Patterson III.
Definitely starting to get chippy between these two teams, both preseason favorites, number 1 and number 2.
Colson steps up in the pocket, looking for the end zone. Jameson Garcia can't pull it down. Incomplete. The coverage brought in by J.K. Moore. And Moore a little slow to get up, helped up by his teammates.
Great recovery from J.K. Moore. Got beat from Jameson Garcia, able to get back into the play and cause enough distraction against Garcia not to haul that one in. Could have gone a long way for Incarnate Word of trying to make it a 2-score game.
3rd and 11. Colson slings it to Chaden James, and James fights forward, gets the yard to gain as he drags a couple of defenders with him. First down Cardinals, and that'll take us to a 2-minute timeout. Minute 55 remaining in the ball game. UIW trying to cut into the Lumberjack lead when we come back. Out of the 2-minute timeout, UIW has the ball at the SFA 32. 1st and 10. Colson swings it all the way out to the left side. Shaden James has space to move as he gets forward and picks up 8 yards.
Gets out of bounds, stops the clock, and try and preserve as much time. They still got all 3 timeouts if they choose to use them.
Josh Lorick with the completion, and E.J. Colson picks up the 1st down for UIW's offense into the red zone. UIW trying to punch it in for their 1st touchdown. All 9 points have come off of field goals, which is the only math you can get on 9, I suppose. 3 field goals. I guess a missed point after attempt. You get the point. The Cardinals are looking for the end zone for the 1st time today. Colson swings it over to the left side, caught by Lorick. He makes a defender miss as he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 16 yards from E.J. Colson, and UIW finds pay dirt. Flag on the play. I think that's going to go against the defense.
Great job there from E.J. Colson, delivering the ball through traffic, taking the hit, and a good catch after the run by Josh Lorick. Gets in the end zone for the 1st time tonight, sets off some fireworks, and Cardinals aren't done just yet.
And a whole lot of Cardinal faithful are still here to watch this game to the end. Cardinals will go for 2. Compton goes in motion. Little shovel pass forward, and it'll be taken into the end zone. 2-point conversion successful as Jalen Spears will pick up a few more passing yards for E.J. Colson.
And now with that 15-yard penalty, you're going to basically do the
it's an onside.
Kickoff from midfield, so you're setting yourself up good if you can get that onside kick. Another great call there. Love the creativity at the goal line with that shovel pass, but that's a huge penalty. Again, right now, ESPN Bet probably has this still at a 99% chance for Stephen F. Austin to be victorious in this game, but look where they're kicking this ball off from. It's midfield, and so you're recovering it at the plus 40, plus 35 probably.
Lumberjacks have their hands team ready.
And you still have all 3 timeouts if you're UIW.
And the sure hands there of Kylan Harris makes sure that the onside kick is unsuccessful. Nick Regas must be the onside kicker, and obviously that works a lot better when the receiving team isn't expecting it.
No, exactly. The onside kick is, I don't know what the percentage is, but we could look that up, and
it's got to be less than 5.
It'd be
maybe 10.
A little bit less than my percentage of guessing what the call is going to be on an official review.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for us in that regard, hasn't it? And finally, Vidlak is retired for the rest of the ball game as Gavin Rutherford hands this off, and the man in the backfield, Wembley, still has a little bit more time left to play in this ball game, but effectively the next play should be the last one, although the officials are talking things over, stopping the clock.
I think UIW used a timeout.
Well, Cardinals still fighting till the bitter end. It will be a bitter one as UIW's home winning streak of 8 games is snapped. Next broadcast will be for the Lumberjacks when they host Nicholls on October 18th. That'll be an ESPN Plus broadcast, your home for Southland Conference football. They put 2 seconds on the clock, 1:10 left, as you see, East Texas A&M comes into San Antonio after UIW's bye week. Be sure to tune in for that one. Sam and I will be on the call. 2nd and 5 here for Rutherford and the SFA offense. Keeping it, Rutherford finds a gap up the middle and gets the first down, and he was a shoestring tackle away from potentially taking that all the way into the end zone. They pick the clock back up.
And that seals the deal. No need for Coach Killo to call another timeout. Reason he hung on to all 3 was in that case of getting a 3rd down stop. See if you can't get a quick score, get the onside kick, and then score again before it hits triple zeros. But at this point, it'll be victory formation for Stephen F. Austin.
Rutherford does go under center, takes the knee, and that should be the final snap of the ball game. SFA comes in with the upset, knocks off number 20 UIW, snapping an 8-game home winning streak for the Cardinals, and the Lumberjacks send a statement to the rest of the Southland Conference. They pick up the final score here at Benson Stadium, 31-17 over UIW. So for Sam Kamen and the rest of the ESPN crew, I've been Carl Schoening saying we'll see you next time as UIW hosts East Texas A&M. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the Southland Conference and ESPN. All rights reserved. Good night, everybody.